The topic today is the Victorinox Tinker model Swiss Army knife, and why it's one of the best knives for bushcraft and survival. And it's such a tiny little thing. People might think I'm joking. I'm not. This is it. First thing, I'll give you a look at the knife and the tools. It should have the shield and cross logo there, but it's painted on the scales. I've had this so many years, every trace of that logo is gone, but that's what we look for, the Victorinox logo. If you're picking up a used one at a flea market or pawn shop or something. And also there's a stamp on the blade. It says Victorinox Swiss made stainless. Okay, so what makes this knife so good? In my opinion, a small size and a light weight. Of course, the Swiss Army knives come in smaller versions and larger ones, and how many tools. If you look at the number of layers of the tools when you're looking at the knife from the side, that will give you an idea how much weight you're going to have. This one only has 2 layers, so it's one of the lighter models. And it has a lanyard ring. Those are love them or hate them. I actually use that to clip it to a lanyard and have it in my pocket on the lanyard. And that way, when I'm out in the woods, I can't lose it, or it'd be very difficult to lose that. Not only in a pocket, but also clipped to my person. And then the most common scales on these are the bright red. It's traditional at this point, I'd say. You can get other scales, other colors and designs. It's almost endless. But just the standard red scale, I like that because if I did set it down somewhere, pretty easy to find that. It stands out well. It just seems to have the tools that I need. The pen blade, the large blade. I mean large for the size of the knife. Seems to be just about right to be functional around camp. The handle fits my hand pretty well. You know, it's nice and rounded. Doesn't give me calluses or blisters or anything from extended use. But it also has a smaller blade, which is good for a number of reasons. To have a blade that's really sharp. So the small blade I don't even use unless there's some sort of need for a really sharp blade, and then I have one that's basically untouched. They sharpen pretty easy. The larger blade I touch up once in a while just very lightly with a diamond file, diamond sharpener, and then a strop, and don't have to do that very often. It maintains a good edge. So you got the 2 blades. Then you have the bottle opener and the can opener. It is good to have a can opener. I mean, I could use the pen blade to open up a can, but that would probably be damaging it. And also, there's a small standard screwdriver, slotted screwdriver on the can opener, and that's also good for like the small screws on carburetors or the small screws on some electronics. Also with the can opener, this is a blade. So really I have 3 blades on the knife. I got the large pen knife, the small pen knife, but then the can opener blade, it's actually sharpened. So I can carve things with that and cut things with that. When I'm at home and I get a cardboard box I want to open without cutting what's inside the box, a lot of times there's even warnings, you know, about using a knife to open the box. Well, that's not a very long blade. And also, if I use this for more rough use, I'm not using up my pen blade. So that's a good thing to have. And you know, just something it's a little bit too rough, I don't want to damage my actual knife blade, I can use this. The angle of that blade is designed more for rough use, so it's really not even abusing it. There's a larger, beefier slotted screwdriver on the can opener, and that's also good for moderate prying, like pry open a paint can or whatever. You really shouldn't be prying with a blade of a knife. It's a good way to bend it or break it or hurt yourself. This little screwdriver isn't meant for really hard prying, but I have a lot more success with that than trying to pry with a knife. So that's really good to have. If I have that, then I don't pry with my knife when I'm out off somewhere and I don't have the proper tools with me. One of the really great things about the Tinker model in Victorinox is it has a really good Phillips screwdriver. That's rare on a multi-tool that small. I really think that's a good Phillips screwdriver. It's sharp. It's there when I need it. And then the awl, actually I would say it's a drill, because there's a blade there. So I'll see if I can drill something for you. First I'll see if I can carve that flat with a large pen blade. So that gives you some idea about the functionality of the pen blade. Got that rectangular piece of wood now. So let's see if I can drill a hole in it. Takes a little while for it to bite. Of course, everything's harder when you're trying to film it and trying to hold it in the frame. So you can see the drill is tapered, so as I go further in, I'm making the hole wider. But I'm starting to see where it's coming through. So let's say I didn't want the hole to be really wide, for whatever reason. I can go from either side. So very effectively, I can drill holes in things on the trail. Drill through wood. It's very good for leather. Excellent for leather work, in my opinion. And also soft plastic. A lot of equipment that you're carrying out in the woods is a soft plastic, like a lot of the buckles and things on backpacks and bags and different equipment. So let's say you break a strap. The little drill is a good thing to have. I mean, I could poke a hole in it with the knife, but then the blade is going to make like a slit, which is a lot more easy to tear. whereas the drill makes a nice hole and it stays just a nice hole. So that's a good tool to have. And then the final two tools that often made fun of, but I think they're functional. I like them actually. Got your toothpick. You know, I prefer little flossers, but if I forget it or lose it, got the little toothpick. Of course, you can pick your teeth with it, which, you know, you have a piece of food that's stuck in your teeth on the trail, you know, when you're camping out somewhere. It can be really annoying. Of course, you can whittle a toothpick, a wooden toothpick, but it's nice just to have that right there. And also, you can use it to press those small buttons on your electronics, like the reset buttons and things. So it's handy. And little tweezers. Good for pulling out splinters, thorns. There's really fine hair-like thorns on different plants out here. Ones that's even really hard to see. So having delicate tweezers like that with you all the time, excellent. So in summary, why is this Tinker model, Victorinox Swiss Army knife Tinker model, why is it one of the best knives for bushcraft and survival? Well, because it's functional. I like the tools that it has, and the small size and that weight that it is. I find that I clip it to my keys. Now I have this on a belt loop. Put this end in my pocket. I just always have it. Okay, so you can say that another knife is better for survival. It could be, but if you leave it at home, what good is that? So in my opinion anyway, this is one of the best because it's just one that I'll have with me. That weight, I never seem to leave it at home. I always have it with me. You know, I've experimented with larger and smaller. I know there's near endless models of Swiss Army knives. Of course, if you carry a larger one, it has more layers, you have more tools. But would you bring it with you? I mean, it's a personal choice, personal preference, and then not just what you say you're going to do, but what you actually do. Are you really going to carry it with you every single day? For me, the answer with the Tinker is yes, and that's why, in my opinion, this is one of the best knives of bushcraft and survival. So I thank you for joining me, guys, and I'll see you again soon. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. 2 Corinthians 5:17.